Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Angela. Um, Please remember to like, subscribe, and share my video. Today's topic is going to be the conclusion of emotional abuse, men suffering in silence. And before I get started, I want to read my disclaimers. Please remember, if you are in immediate danger, call 911, or you can reach out to the domestic hotline at 800-799-SAFE, 800-799-7233. And for mental health resources, reach out to NAMI at 800-950-NAMI, 800-950-6264, or you can text NAMI at 741741. And with that being said, I'm going to get started. I did a little more research and was able to find a few more statistics about male violence. And this is from the website NCADV, National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. It says, did you know 1 in 4 men have been physically abused, slapped, pushed, shoved by an intimate partner? 1 in 7 men have been severely physically abused, hit with a fist, a hard object, kicked, slammed against something, choked, burned, etc. by an intimate partner at some point of their lifetime. 1 in 18 men are severely injured by intimate partners in their lifetime. And what that could mean is they have been stabbed, shot, hit with a car, things of that nature. So with saying that, I just wanted to point out that men do go through abuse. They deal with a lot of things and they just keep it quiet because they are ashamed. They don't want their friends to know. They don't want to be looked down. And years ago, it wasn't really a big thing. So when they tried to report it or they tried to talk about it, police officers would make fun of it. It wasn't taken serious. You know, no one could imagine a big, strong man being abused. And the way that it happened is this. You find a woman that's not mentally stable, and she knows that because of your values, you're not going to fight her back. You know, you trying everything to keep her calm, to make her happy, but you're not the type that's going to beat her, because we all know that if the man wanted to, he could put a stop to the abuse when it's physical, just by asserting his physical strength on the woman. But since he's not doing that, and the woman knows he's not doing that, she's taking advantage of that. And she knows that he's not going to say anything, so she's got the best of both worlds. She can do what she wants. He's suffering. He's not talking about it, and she knows he's not going to talk about it. It's sad that this is happening, but as a man, you shouldn't feel ashamed. You know, talk about it to someone. If you have to go to a pastor, talk about it to him. But I would suggest that you just move away from the situation altogether. Take the necessary steps it takes to get out of this relationship. It's not safe. It could end up to the point where you start fighting back and you end up hurting her. And it's not going to go good in your favor because of you being a man, especially if it's not being reported. So if you have no records, no hospital records of anything that she's done, it's going to look like you're the aggressor. So think about it. You know, don't sit back and take this, because you don't have to. And if you have children, you're just teaching them that it's okay for someone to hit on you. It's okay because she's a weaker sex and you shouldn't hit a woman back, but it's okay for her to hit on you. That's not okay. So as I said before, leave the relationship as soon as possible. I want to share with you a story about a guy. He was a friend of mine. We actually worked together and became good friends. At this time, I had gotten out of my abusive relationship. So I knew the signs, and it didn't matter that it was a woman doing the same thing. So in this case, we both had a good job. He was working, and this guy was actually ex-military. So he had a girlfriend. They wasn't married, and they had a child together. So in the beginning, everything was fine. They both worked, and everything was fine. She started to, I can't remember what he said happened to her, but she started to drink more. And while she started to drink more, it started to interfere with her work. She decided to go ahead and get a not a second job, a part-time job. She had a full-time job. She decided to go and get a part-time job. And in doing so, the money started to be lacked. So everything that she did with her part-time job, the money was going toward her drinking, and now she's doing drugs, and things are just getting worse for him and the child. I remember he would come to work saying that she's not even, when he comes home, she's not even taking care of their child. He comes home, she's still in her pajamas. He was taking care of her when he got off from work. He would bathe her and feed her. And even if the mother was feeding the child, she just was leaving her a mess and taking her out. And he got one call one time that he saw his child in a crack house. So she went off the deep end. So of course he goes home. They yelling and screaming about it. She starts to push and fight him. He's trying to restrain her because he's one of the men that's not going to put his hands on her. So, I mean, she's doing all kinds of stuff. The next day he came back to work, there was evidence of her that he had been scratched, and you could see the signs of abuse. And I said, well, what happened to you? And he would confide in me, and I just told him, I said, you shouldn't have to go through this. I said, you should think about moving. And his thing was, I can't leave my child. So I understood that. Then he tells me that things have gotten so bad that he's actually moved out of the bedroom with his girlfriend, and now him and the child are sharing the same room because she's just off the charts. And so he was trying to keep together. One time I remember we were at work, and she wouldn't stop calling his phone to where he actually had to leave and go home because she wouldn't stop calling. And it was abuse. There's no other way to say it. It was just, the only thing that was different is he was a man going through this. So I suggested that he go to family courts, report what's going on. I said, and you're paying all the bills. You have the money to get your own apartment. I said, if you can, try to break the lease. If not, stick it out until the lease is over and you and your child move. His concern was he didn't have family here, and he didn't want to take the child from the mother, and he didn't want to do all that. And I said, well, think about it. Is it okay that your baby see that she's beating on you, she's cussing on you, she's doing all kinds of things in front of the child, she's taking her to unsafe places, she's not taking her to daycare, and she's not picking her up when she do take her to daycare. You have to rush home to get her, and she's not even working. I said, think about all that. I said, right now the child is 2. I said, but she shouldn't have to grow up in this type of household. So he thought about it. And he did actually go to family court. He got it to where he explained to them what was going on. He was able to move out, and he was able to take the child. He got primary custody, and she had visitation rights, and she was also responsible for paying child support, which she hardly ever did, but he didn't need it. And when he moved away from the situation, the child just flourished. He raised her to adulthood. She became a nurse. So you can, it's not difficult for a man to do the same thing a woman do, to become a single parent. He did it. I remember when she started to growing up, we remained friends. She was probably about 7 or 8, and his concern was he didn't know how to comb her hair. And I said, well, if you want, I could do that for you, or you could take her to get her hair did. And he said, because when she goes and visit with her mother, she comes back looking a mess. So, the mother hadn't changed. And he called a beauty salon, and he would take her every 2 weeks and get her hair done. And it was just an extra expense, but he was a great father. So he did, just as a single mother would do, he did the necessaries to take care of this child. And I was very impressed. So when I say that you're in a relationship that's not healthy, just because you're a man and you are stronger and people don't expect you to show your emotions, you shouldn't have to lower your standards. You shouldn't be in a relationship that is causing you stress and that could potentially end your life. So keep in mind that you are loved. We appreciate strong men. We appreciate men that are not fighting and beating women, but in the same breath, I expect you to take care of yourself. Don't let anyone hit on you, make you feel less than a man, because you are special, you are loved. And thank you for listening. I hope this is reaching someone, and I hope that it helps. Know that you have options. Like I said, take it to family court. I would also call the police and put the person on record. If you have bruises, and even if you call the police and report that she's shoving you, they will take your word and they'll see. They're trained to see who's being abused. So again, remember to like my videos, subscribe, and share. And thank you for watching.